What's up, everybody? It's your boy Eric from Easy Computer Solutions, and yes, it's Wine Wednesday. Somebody told me in the comments said that what that guy told me that when I did that video, he said that I'm gonna win an award for stand-up comedian or something. I don't know. Welcome everybody to Wine Wednesday. This is Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. It's party time. Are you ready for a party? We're going to have us a big party. We got our liquid beverages on site. And I got the lovely ladies from Wine Wednesday in the building. Minus two. Actually, Catwoman is not going to be with us today. Also, Emily D. Baker, I think she's still vacationing, so she won't be with us today. Or she might pop in to say hello. So what's up to everybody in the building? All right, here we go. Miss Scrumptious Kimmy, hello.
What's up, y'all? I know y'all was hyped about that Huawei announcement this week. Ooh. I know I was.
Huawei, we gonna talk
How y'all
about
doing?
That. Yes, we're gonna talk about that. Miss Ashley, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, you guys? How are you guys doing this week? I'm excited about Halloween, and I'm excited about these new phone releases. I've been keeping track and watching stuff lately.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
I know.
Thank you.
I know. Since you became on the Wine Wednesday squad, I see you're all into phones now. You're trying to watch a lot of more phone videos and all that stuff like that. So that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Always a good thing.
Yeah, I'm very interested. And also, I want to do tech on my channel. There's a fly in here. Oh my gosh. But I want to do tech on my channel, and I want to do it with my husband. I feel like both of our personalities together, you guys will love to watch. So stay tuned for that.
Yes, and it would be great for you to do tech. Here's the thing about tech. I mean, I love it. I do it. Obviously, I do it every day. But one of the things that I like doing is the mystery of people reaction when I post a video. It's like, that reaction, like, oh, shit, I watched the video. And you know how you kind of critique your own self. And
right.
Sometimes you don't think you did as good of a job, but other people think you did fantastic. So, I think you'll be great. You and your husband do a couple of tech videos. Y'all be great. And hey, let's do a collab together. We'll talk about that now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm down.
Sure. All right. So let's talk about the Mate 20. Let's get into the Mate 20 real quick. Shout out to Tech Brand. You know what, Tech Brand? And look, I say this, and I talk about this to a lot of YouTubers that ask me for advice, like some of the smaller YouTubers. And I say this in one of my videos. If you do not watch your own video, now think about this. You post a video, got 0 views, right? And you should have at least like 10 views just for you watching your own video. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Like, you ought to watch your own video, look at your mistakes, look at opportunities, look at how your B-roll was, how could you make it better and stuff like that. And a lot of smaller YouTubers don't watch their own videos, and I think that's a shame. I believe that smaller YouTubers, including myself, I do it every day. Watch your videos, man. Watch your videos and look at how could you done this better. So you won't make and try not to make the same mistake twice. That's the whole key to the game. Right. Try not to make the same mistake twice. That's my advice. And a lot of people always ask me, for advice and how I grow my channel and stuff like this. It's not easy. It's not easy. The algorithm is not on our side. Especially the tech game. The tech game, everybody want to watch, everybody have faith and believe in other YouTubers. I'm not knocking them, but it's tough. And here's the thing. In the tech game, you have so many tech reviewers, tech channels, and stuff like that. So, you got to make yourself stand out.
Right.
And so it is what it is. I mean, it did have fun. I say this in my video. I was like, man, you got to have fun. If you're not having fun, don't do it. That's the whole thing about this. You got to have fun. If you don't have fun, don't do it. So yes. But let's talk about the Mate 20. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been talking about this for a long time. I am not a fan of the way the Mate 20 look. What you think about Scrumptious?
What?
What did you just say?
You're not a fan of the way the Mate 20 looks? Why not?
Oh, you talking about me? I don't like the cameras on the back. That's the only part of it I don't like.
You know,
everything else is fine.
It's kind of giving me Samsung vibes, like the way it looks and stuff.
Oh, the front, yeah,
like the shape and everything like that. But I mean, I don't see what's the problem with the way it looks. I think it looks great. I think what it can do, that's pretty cool. Like the reverse charging, I think that's really cool.
Well, I'm like the X, because I love bigger phones, and 7.2 inches is like, oh my god. I'm like, my Mi Max is about to be out the door, but I'm gonna try to keep it at least to the first of the year.
I'm just not a fan of this camera array right here. I'm just I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I have to get the phone and just maybe when you get the phone you can see how that look, but I don't know. You liking that? I don't like the way that camera.
I mean, like
that's the only part of it I don't like is the camera.
I feel like I could deal with that more than I could deal with the notch on the Pixel. Like that.
But it has a notch too.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's doable.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, I was like, oh no, I'm not a big fan of it, but I don't know.
Eric, you don't like to sing Huawei's praises. That's you
know. No, I actually like Huawei. I like the direction the Huawei is going. I like the way what they're doing. This is just a shame that in the US, it just nobody, no companies don't want to, do anything. And now it's a Huawei in the news again about the like Canada don't want to support, the US don't want Canada to support Huawei phones because of the 5G network. Is some type of vulnerabilities or something going on with the 5G network. So I don't know. I was reading some stuff, and I guess it's going to have more out, more information that's coming out more about it. But for some strange reason, something going on behind the scenes between Huawei and the United States. And, I don't know what it is going to take to fix that situation, but between the United States and Huawei, it's a no-go. So I don't know. I mean, but I'm loving the cameras. I mean, listen, when we talk about cameras, if y'all guys watched my last video I just posted today, sometimes things ain't what they seem. And that's, go ahead.
And I'm gonna cut you off for a second because Sean Vega made a good point. I mean, the Porsche edition is beautiful, but I was looking at the specs. Like I did a spec comparison with the Mate 20, the Pro, and the Porsche edition. And unlike last year, where my Porsche had the fingerprint, like it had something that the other models didn't have. I'm looking for that something that I'm paying the extra $1,000 for, and I didn't see it. So maybe I missed something, or maybe they're gonna surprise you when you get that Porsche phone. Other than it being pretty, why are we paying the extra $1,000?
Right,
because I didn't pay an extra $1,000.
The Mate 20 RS is what, $2,000.
Oof, oof.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. She can stay where she is.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy, but yeah. But all the Mate RS devices are pretty expensive. But you're right. Think about it. Isn't the Mate RS from last year got the 835, 6 gigs of RAM? Android 8.0, so I mean it's for $2,000. You know what I'm saying? So I do. You think about it. You got a OnePlus device.
Oh, I wouldn't have paid the extra for the Porsche design.
Right. And that's
this was good. $700. $700.
Okay.
I would pay $700 for a Porsche design. Now I see what Sean said. You paying for the Porsche design logo. And I guess that's just like when we talk about Apple. I mean, you're paying for a 512 gigabyte iPhone Max is $1,500 $100. So you pay for that apple. You ain't paying for, you know. Emily!
Yay!
Oh, Ashley, I love the purple.
Oh, thank
you.
you.
Purple. Hey guys.
We missed you.
Yeah, we missed you.
I missed you guys too, and I don't even have the chat up yet. And it's Wednesday, you know, soccer. I'm gonna have
your boy Eden in here yet, so you good. I ain't saying
He's been asking about you.
He asks about you every week. Every week. Where's Emily? The crazy thing about it is we announce it when we first start the chats. Who's going to be here? Who's not?
Yeah. It's been wild, but we were on hold on, I got to turn this on. We were on a Disney cruise.
Ooh. Oh, that's cute.
Oh, I love it.
Caribbean drink.
That's so cool.
But I love Mickey Mouse. And refill it for me. So that's disappointing. But that's all right. A girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. So yes, we were on a Disney cruise last week. The week before, I don't even remember what happened. Work, kids, something.
Right. So I welcome you back, and we was in deep discussion. We talking about the mate devices and some of the situations they are having in the United States. Also, we were talking about prices. The Mate RS was a very pricey device, a $2,000 phone. So we talking about Huawei right now because they just dropped 2 new phones, which is the Mate 20, which is a gorgeous,
Don't leave the Mate X.
Oh yeah, the Mate
20X out. Yeah.
And so they got 3 phones, and you know, their phones are great. Look, I mean, look, when they come down to the specs, they put everything in the phone. They've got reverse charging and everything in the phone. The biggest problem is, and a lot of people that ask me is why I don't review them, is because when you're a United States tech reviewer, and if you review a phone that nobody in the United States probably won't buy, it's very difficult to go through your comments and people ask you, where could I get this phone? Could I get it at AT&T, Verizon, Sprint? And so when I started focusing on a lot of phones that you can have access to, I try to leave eBay out of it because, you know, a lot of people don't trust eBay like we used to. So I look at Amazon and carriers like you know, Sprint, AT&T, Verizon, also Best Buy, Target. So I look at their phones like the Mate 20 Pro. Would it ever be in a carrier store? And the answer to that question is no. So it's very difficult, especially when you have a huge audience of the United States that would want to get the phone, but they don't. You know, it's hard to drop $1,000 on a phone online when you can't touch it. That's the whole thing. I mean, would you? I mean, are you willing to drop $1,100, $1,000 on a phone just because tech reviewers say it's a good phone? That's it. You know, it's very, very tough, man. Especially,
I mean, you have to be willing. You have to be in the mind to buy it before somebody reviews it. Like that's a large purchase. I'm a knee-jerk purchase up to about $100 maybe.
Yeah.
$100 or less. I'm like, oh, they like it, I'll try it. Anything over that takes a lot more consideration, but then I look for input to support my spending a ridiculous amount of money, right? So I look for other reviewers to help me justify what I'm about to do. Right. So that's how I use it, right?
And in person helps a lot too, because like a lot of my friends want Huawei's now just because they've been around my phone.
And they've seen
the pictures and stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they've seen you be able to purchase it. They know that if they have a problem with it, they can ask you about it. I really think it's the reason my parents use Apple is because they know that if there's ever a problem, they're just going to call me. So I think there's a lot of influence in that as well, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, look, the thing about it is, like, for us techies, and majority of the people that's in this chat, they're all techies. So when we talk about Huawei phones and stuff like that, everybody know what we're talking about. But I want to throw, my sister might be on here, but I'm going to throw her under the bus. If I ask my sister, hey, have you ever heard of a Huawei phones like the Mate 20, Mate 10, or P20, P10? She's like, What, Hawaii? What is you talking? That's a phone company? What is
That's
that?
exactly what'll happen.
That's exactly what happens. So I try to structure my channel around the average consumer. Plus, I do play into the techie field, but my plan of thought is I try to talk about things as the average consumer would consider. So a lot of people like to say, "Well, easy, you don't talk about the specs." Man,
You
listen,
can read the specs online.
Yeah, exactly, and I always try to talk about the specs a little bit. But my main concern, and people critics of me, if I don't talk about, oh, that's a 20 megapixel camera on that phone. If I don't say that, then people hit me up in the comments. I get like 20 people say, "Hey, you forgot to talk about the specs. You forgot to talk about the specs."
Those are the same people on my channel going, actually, it's a Roman numeral X, which is a 10. So you don't say X, you say 10. And in my videos, I say, I know it's called the 10. However, I like calling it the X. So I'm going to call it X because XS Max sounds more badass than 10S Max, which seems to be harder to say. So people can suck a dick. And and it's just it's crazy. It's just people get crazy, and I'm tired. Look, y'all, today I'm tired. I've got people in my Facebook group that I run being crazy. It's a Pokemon Go group, y'all. People are being a mess today, and I'm tired of adults acting like assholes. I am tired today. I have been in traffic for like 2 hours, and I'm tired of people getting stuck on the piddly little shit. If you want to know the megapixel of the camera, Google it. If you want to know what the man thinks of the phone, watch his review. If you don't like his face, don't watch it.
Preach.
You know what? I agree with you. This is look. I made this video, and I agree with you. Here's the thing, and people all on the internet, they go to a channel just to curse you out, or they say, "Oh, you're a suck reviewer." And look, the video I made, it was passionate to me by folks, by the way. And I talk about this like I don't have no teleprompters, I don't have none of this stuff. And that last video was coming from the heart about how I feel in the tech field. This is what I want to do on this channel. And what the thing that motivated me, and I talked about this, said about 6 months ago, 7 months ago, people hit me in my DMs and tell me, "Easy, your channel suck. You won't be around mid third quarter of 2018. That was told to me. That was like, your channel won't be around. You lose the subscribers. And that wasn't the case, by the way. I'm always gaining subscribers. Your views are down, which that's not the case. My views are up. And you know what? I took that. It motivated me to work hard, focus a little more. And so when I made that video and I dropped the mic and I had the bomb blowing in the background, that's just my frustration, all in a nutshell. Right at the end of that video. At the end of that video, look, and by the way, I want y'all got to know, I did not know I was going to do that until I did it.
Which is fair. Which is fair. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
So.
And the internet is getting so crazy. Oh my God. Listen. Oh my God. You have no idea. Listen, it's a 24-hour job for me because I got social media all over the place. I got to deal with internet. I got 1,300 videos, 3 YouTube channels. I got a website, and people start to hit me on my website and all kinds of stuff. Like, oh my God. It's a phone, folks. It's a fucking phone. That's it. It is. People get in their feelings, man. People really do.
They do.
It's it. Oh yeah. And listen, I have a huge supporting cast. So I do have a lot of people that support this channel. God, the trolls, they don't stop. They just don't stop. They get on there. I'm gonna piss him off today. And I'm like, you don't piss me off. Trust me. They actually don't piss me off. It's just I just looking at the mindset of an adult. Like at first I thought it was like teenagers or something. No, we talking about grown people here in their 40s and 50s creating accounts just to come and curse you out.
Right.
But I don't want to get off subject, but that was the the P20.
Oh, I was gonna get off subject too because I was gonna ask Emily if she ordered one of them watch bands I sent her the links. For.
Not yet. It's in my cart.
Okay.
I didn't have my credit card in bed last night when I was like, I'm probably gonna get 2 actually.
Yeah, make sure you use don't do the buy one get one. Use the 50% off. I was like, why would they tell people to do it? It's cheaper the other way.
Right.
So Emily, I do have a big question for you. I know you're all over this. What happened to YouTube yesterday?
People lost their mind.
People lost their mind. People jumping off of bridges because of
my favorite day on Twitter ever. I don't go on Twitter much. I don't love Twitter. Twitter is not my favorite platform. Yesterday, I was like, Twitter's where it's gonna be at. The memes gave me life yesterday.
I missed it.
That's not the time of day that you and I are really on YouTube, right? That's like kid dinner, like
bath. Yeah, I was bathing my kids at the time.
That's evening.
So, yep.
That's my nighttime routine.
Out links. Yeah. I was sending out Make 20 Pro links and Make 20X links, and people were like, "This link doesn't work. It's dead." And I'm like, "I know it works. I just watched it."
YouTube scared the shit out of people yesterday, right? YouTube for everyone here knows what happened, right? YouTube went down for over 90 minutes. Google has not said what happened. I don't know if it was a server issue. I don't know if they were testing a back end thing. I don't know if it's because Shane Dawson dropped a video and like the internet melted. Melted. Yep. So I'm not sure exactly what happened. What I loved was, did you guys see the tweet from the Philadelphia Police Department?
No.
What did it say?
Yes, it said, yes, our YouTube is down as well. Please don't call 911. We don't know how to fix it. And so somebody said, this is a joke, right? And Philadelphia Police Department responded, no, it's not a joke. We really don't know how to fix it. Please don't call 911 because YouTube's down. And I guarantee you they got those calls. I promise you the police departments were getting those calls because I've listened to 911 calls where people have called because somebody at Burger King was being salty and not giving them their order the way they want, or because Starbucks discontinued a drink. But the best one on Twitter yesterday was Disney with, it wasn't us, but Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet comes out November 21st. I love.
Well, it's Ralph Breaks the Internet. That's the name of the movies.
Yes.
Yeah, so that fit. Yeah.
It was really funny. So I love the companies that jumped on the hashtag YouTube down. I loved the community jumping over to Twitter to be like, what is going on? I thought it was kind of fun. Actually, it didn't really stress me out too much, but I know there were creators going, oh shit. Like, what if YouTube all of a sudden goes away? Like, because it could. Google could just be like, you know what? Fuck it. We're done. They could. We have no control over our content once we put it up. I mean, we can take it back down, but YouTube has it. So if the platform goes away, which I know it makes enough money that it won't go away, but I wonder what they were implementing on the back end, right? Eric, what did it feel like to you? Did it feel like they were doing some back end implementation that got a little cranky?
But here's the thing that I was concerned about. That I was actually filming, so I wasn't on YouTube at all.
Right.
And so when people was hitting me up and telling me that YouTube was down and this is bad and all kinds of stuff going on, it's like, well, wait a minute. Then I went on YouTube and I seen it was down. Okay, people, take a lunch break. It's not the end of the world. I was like, it's okay. I'm quite sure it's gonna come back up. And I'm looking at Twitter, it's all down Twitter line.
Oh, Twitter went wild. It was my favorite. Twitter went wild. But you know what? What time did this happen on the East Coast? What time was it? 8 o'clock?
Yeah, 8:30, whatever.
Right. So that's when everybody's hopping on YouTube. Right? Yeah. And it was a worldwide outage. It was not. What was confusing, though, is on Social Blade, people's subscriber numbers were still going up. On Social Blade during the YouTube outage. I was like, now what is happening over there? But YouTube does report subscriber data like from a 24-hour period prior.
Backwards. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I looked at it like this. I look, a lot of people like, I bet you YouTube is losing millions of dollars.
No. Well, with ads and stuff, I mean, how much money does YouTube make in a day? And then you can kind of parcel it out and figure out how much money they would have lost being down for 90 minutes. But I mean, it was I hope it was an interesting wake up call to a lot of creators that don't have other streams of income. And I know there are bigger creators that don't. There are larger creators that this is their full-time job and they don't have other streams of income. And creating your whole career on a platform you don't own, where they don't have any obligation or responsibility to you, it can be scary. So we'll see. I think everybody's just going to forget about it. Sorry, my fan is too high. I think everybody's
Emily,
just going to push it under the rug.
We have to add you into our Blue Bubble group over in our message. Me, Catwoman, and Ashley.
Yep.
I'm into it. I'm here for it. Where is Catwoman tonight? I missed the beginning.
She's sick. She had a fever. Like, she texted me as soon as I got off work. So I was telling her to go to sleep. I figured she wouldn't be here anyway, but get some rest.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's going around. Everybody at my house was homesick today.
Yep.
So
it is going around. My kids were sick last weekend.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, YouTube being down, YouTube got sick. It's flu season, people. It's flu season. I want to know what the chat thought. What did you guys think? Did you guys think it was you? Did you think it was your internet? How did you check? Did you guys all do the same thing everybody else did and like run over to Twitter and be like, what the fuck? I want to know what the chat room did. And then Easy, I want to know what you think. You've got a background more in deep computer science than I do, but I think they were fucking around or updating things on the back end. And
you know what? I think what happened is a lot of people got to think about this and talk about this. I'm kind of seeing what YouTube is doing here. If you notice, if you go back throughout the last couple of years, maybe about a year or so, you see YouTube changing up. YouTube TV is being deployed all over the place. Now, I recently got YouTube TV in my area like a couple of months ago. So I'm starting to see a lot of things happening. And then it may be the case that YouTube is trying to clean up a whole lot of dead weight. You think about it, that you got a lot of people that have millions and millions of subscribers, but some channel subscribers are not active. So I think some of that stuff is being cleaned up too. Some of the accounts of non-activity is probably being deleted. A lot of YouTube channels that doesn't post videos for 2 years,
right,
probably getting deleted. So I'm not sure.
I wonder if they're cleaning it up, getting ready to put up the paywall, right? Is the paywall coming?
People don't believe me. I believe the paywall is coming. I've been talking about this for like 6-7 months. I'm like, hey guys, y'all get ready. This YouTube stuff about to go to a paid subscription. And a lot of people are like, well, no, I'll never watch YouTube again. No, prime example. No. Anytime that YouTube go down for 90 minutes and people call it 911, they're willing to pay.
Yes. You look at Twitter and you can pick them out. It's like you would pay, you would pay, you would pay, you would pay. And it's gonna be, you know what? I would pay. I would pay. I would pay.
I would want to know how much. Like, how
I wouldn't pay more than Netflix.
Ashley said, "I'm in, but
I wouldn't. I'm in. I wouldn't pay more than Netflix."
Right. Okay. Yeah. If it's like Netflix, okay.
Well,
you got
I wouldn't pay more than Netflix.
But can we share? Can we share the login like Netflix?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
No, because it's going to be linked to your current account, right? It's going to be linked to your current YouTube account. Like if I can't share a YouTube login with my kids, they're going to die. Like, and that, now you're going to get like Apple Music with like your $20 a month family plan. And I would probably pay to let my kids still watch YouTube because I'm going to need it, because eventually I'm going to need to fix my coffee machine. And my coffee machine has not had a problem in like 2.5 years, but that is my life blood. That is my every single day it is an expensive ass coffee machine and it wasn't working. And I got home from not the Disney cruise, but the trip I was speaking on, and I needed coffee from my house. And the first thing I did was like YouTube. I fixed it in under 10 minutes. If I had to call them and get a tech out, it would have taken me a week. So YouTube, there were 2 videos. They were old as hell. They were crappy quality. It was like some dude holding a phone like this, like, and then you do this with the thing, and I'm like, that's all I needed to know.
I think I mean, here's the thing. YouTube is has built up a foundation. All right, everybody watch YouTube, and I think that's the point. YouTube wanted to make sure that hey, look, that 30-minute outage model was a test to see if people was going to be outraged, see if people was going to be like jumping the gun, like, is YouTube going away? See if the 911 calls are going to hit. I mean, I hope that they just did that just to be doing it, but well, what I seen on Twitter was crazy. It's like,
it was the best ever.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And there were people who were trolling, which I fully support. Like, trolls on Twitter don't bother me. People were trolling, and then people were seriously like, what am I supposed to do with my time this evening?
That was me. That was definitely me. My issue was, like, I bathe my kids, and then I have to put on some cartoon on the TV while they go to bed. And I watch YouTube on my phone with my AirPods. So I needed YouTube to work. Like, please.
Well, you know what? And I thought about this. I said, man, if you really want to make a lot of money on YouTube, do cartoons. God,
Heck yeah.
Unbox toys.
Oh,
Yeah.
toys. And
You guys heard of Ryan's toy review? Like, that kid is making money.
I was watching this toy channel, and all they do is just like unbox like kid toys and review them and talk about them and how they work, and they put little animations in it, good editing skills, I'm like, God, look, I'm not knocking nobody, but gee whiz, I was like, that's sweet. That is sweet.
They have those videos that's called like Egg Surprise, and they open little plastic eggs.
Yeah,
the kids love it. My kids will watch it over and over and over.
Even the same eggs. The same eggs.
Yes. And look at the views. You're like, what the hell?
Right.
Yeah. And I'd be fine when I get a few thousand views. These people, they be like a couple of thousand. Come on, Eric.
Millions.
Whoever made Baby Shark and all those other songs. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is a camp song. Did nobody go to camp when they were kids?
Really?
Baby Shark was a camp song from when I went to camp as a kid. And then I was a camp counselor at the same camp. Because if you don't know, I'm a nerd. So I was that girl in my 20s was a camp counselor. It was a lot of fun. But it was a camp song. We sang
cool.
Baby Shark in camp, and we had hand motions that went with the different size sharks, and
yes,
it was ridiculous. Grandma Shark was this one.
Thing, but
yeah,
we didn't do the shark song.
It was Girl Scout camp for us, Kimmy.
Yes.
Oh, Girl Scout.
It was Girl Scout camp.
So let me ask you a question, Apple people in the building. What if, and hypothetically, especially what happened to YouTube, what if you wake up in the morning and you swipe up on that iPhone, and all of a sudden it's dead. Like it's on, but you can't. No apps will work, and all of a sudden you got Apple servers just hit a massive outage for like 90 minutes. For like 90 minutes.
I mean, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do.
I would freak out.
I don't know what I would do. I would probably freak out a bit.
I'm grabbing one of my Androids.
Right. I don't have another phone. I have an iPhone. I have an iPad. I have an iMac. I have a...
Definitely. I would freak out. Like, you're going to have to call 911. Somebody's going to have to get the crash cart. Something's going to have to go down because I don't know.
You're gonna be one of the calls on the news where your kids are calling the police going, something's wrong with my mom. I don't know what's wrong with my mom. iPhone.
Because didn't this happen to BlackBerry about 10 years ago when BlackBerry service went down for like half a day or something, and nobody could get email. This was back then when BlackBerry was popular
and couldn't use their BlackBerry Messenger.
They couldn't use BlackBerry Messenger, right?
And government used BlackBerry Messenger because it was more secure. So like all the political campaigns and stuff were on BlackBerry and BlackBerry Messenger. People I remember when that happened. People lost their fucking minds because they're like, I can't work.
What year did that happen? Because I had a BlackBerry like 2007, 2008.
Before that.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I think I don't know. I mean, it just brings up some concerns about when people is so addicted to a platform like YouTube or just if our phones. I mean, I know our phones is our, but if you go back and I don't want to tell my age here because I've been here.
Everybody knows how old the rest of us are.
Right. I remember before cell phones. Remember, cell phones were so expensive that nobody couldn't get them. Right. So we had the pages. So some of the youngsters that's in the building don't know anything about pages, but we had to actually put a quarter in a phone booth to make phone calls. You know what I'm thinking about, Emily? Think about how many times if we put a quarter in the phone book, it was no sanitizer to clean the thing, and we on the phone survived. And we all survived. Yes, think about this. Back in the early 90s, when they didn't have cell phones, we used to drop a quarter. We got your pager. We drop a quarter in the payphone, and we sitting on the payphone like 30, 45 minutes. There ain't no sanitizer, no wipes. We didn't have no towels.
You're supposed to wipe it with your clothes, and then you kind of like hold it away from the air a little bit.
What do you need? What's up? Full on it.
And also back in the day, we didn't have bottled water, folks. We had faucet water.
I mean, when we were kids, you would run home from being out in the neighborhood playing. You would run home, turn on the hose, drink, and then go back out. You wouldn't even come into the house. Yeah.
Yeah. So we all survived. I'm still here. I'm not sick. I don't have no cancer or nothing. So, I guess the water was good. I guess the phone didn't have germs like they say they have.
I mean, my kids don't even, they don't even know what a payphone is. They had to ask, like, what the Doctor Who phone box is supposed to be. They're like, what is that? I'm like, well, there was a phone in there. And like when we watch Harry Potter, it's like, what are their phone booths? You used to... People didn't have phones in their pocket, so you had to go somewhere to use a phone if you needed a phone.
Right. Yeah. That's cool. Your kids like Harry Potter? Oh, that's awesome. I love Harry Potter.
Level nerd at this house.
Oh my god. I've been reading those books. My mom bought me my first book when I was 13. And I've been obsessed since.
The first Harry Potter books came out when I was like in college.
Yeah. Well, I was in middle school when they came out.
I still love it. Cumberbatch mentioned a typewriter, and when I started at the DA's office,
Dexter,
17 years ago, we had typewriters.
That's how you did complaints. We took typing in high school.
Yeah.
Because we still took typing on typewriters in high school because it was the way you still did your college applications, because you had to get the application form and then type everything in the lines because you weren't PDF writing it. I think college applications now, anyone in the chat who knows this because you have kids or because you've done it yourself, I think they're all online with like a repository, and you just like fill it out and then choose where to send them, and you just do it all online. Yes, Savage Scientist. I also had a VCR. Oh, we were explaining to my kid, we were on the road. We were in the car for a while, and we were explaining to him making mixtapes and the significance of mixtapes, and how, you knew how somebody felt about you if they made you a mixtape, and trying to have, two different devices. So one was playing the radio and the other one you were pushing record. Yeah.
I used to record things. I don't know if you guys remember Home Alone. They had the Talk Boy. I used to record things on my Talk Boy, and I would make like tapes that way.
Yep, it was great. I remember when the first CD writers were coming out, and I was like, "Oh my God, life is gonna be so good." But we're in a time where things are changing so fast. I think it's actually giving people anxiety. Like, I love this shit, but I see it making the people around me anxious. Like, it's making them anxious. I was speaking at a retreat about law stuff at the beginning of the month, end of September. And everybody who saw my phone came up to me and was like, "Can I make an emoji? Can I make a memoji? Can I make an animoji? Can I make whatever the animoji is called, the memoji?" And so I had like 6 people on my phone making their own and then texting it to their phone so they could send it to their kids. It was crazy how much that was the feature. So there's these technologies that change that we feel overwhelmed by, and then there's these technologies that change that we love. And I think it's the consumer facing fun, fluffy stuff like Jibo. Jibo is a technology that we just love. It just makes you happy. Like, it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun. Though he's apparently caught fire this evening. We missed you, buddy.
No, it's just a candle. And he'll be back for next week. We're dressing up for Halloween, so I'll let him dress up next week too.
Are we all dressing up?
We dressing up?
Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
Week early.
Oh, next week. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I don't know what to wear.
Is Halloween on a Wednesday this year?
Yeah, it's on a Wednesday.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
the
gonna do it.
following Wednesday.
Yeah, so we'll dress up next week, and then the following Wednesday.
We probably taking a day off, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll be trick or
Oh,
treating.
I'll be trick-or-treating too.
You know what? So let it. I'm glad we brought this up, so everybody can put this on their calendar. I know everybody love Wine Wednesday. I really do. I know.
Put my Halloween ears on.
But we probably will not stream that Wednesday of Halloween. A lot of people are like, no, we got the hell Wine Wednesday.
Nobody cares that much. That's not true. Eden, just so you know.
Yes.
And where is Eden? I'm shocked he's not here.
He's at school or going to school or sleeping or something.
So when we talk about like older, going back into the early 90s, when we talk about the cell phone, we remember the car phone, we remember pages, we remember all this stuff like typewriters and laser discs, like people putting in the comments. I remember reel to reel. I remember being on a house phone and you could press a button and you could get the party line. I remember that we used to get the party line. We get everybody, like 10 people on the phone, three-way calling and all that stuff and way back in the day. So going from the 90s to where we are right now, you got a significant boost in technology, yes. But some of the things we did back in the past, a lot of people would be like, y'all did that? Going to payphones without sanitary, using typewriters. Now, everybody in school used the same typewriter. So
we didn't wipe them down.
We didn't wipe them down. We all drank that. Remember in high school, I mean, even the schools still have them. The little water fountain. Yeah, so we used to drink. I used to drink the crap out of the water fountains back in the day.
So nobody, put your mouth on it. Don't put your mouth on it.
Nobody drank from the water fountains at my high school because we were post like Northridge earthquake, and everything was kind of funky. Like everything just got a little jacked in the earthquake, and so everything was a little weird. So. No, but we also didn't drink water. Like when I was in high school, we just all drank like Coca-Cola all day long. We're like, we're not drinking water, which is not healthy. And now at my son's school, they have the water bottle filling stations and all the kids have their water bottles and they refill their filtered water bottle filling station. And it's got a little California. It's got a little counter that says how many water bottles they've saved because parents don't want to send their kids to school every day with a water bottle. So they've all got their refillable waters, which is nice. Because when I go by school, I'm like, don't mind if I do.
Yeah. Hey, so. I remember that back when I was in high school, we didn't have air conditions. We had they used to have window units. So we used to have the windows open in certain classes because we didn't have central air. And we used to deal with it. We used to have to go to the library. We used to just be hot. We dealt with it. We dealt. Listen, but it made you better though. Think about it. You went through all those type of scenarios.
They all survived.
We survived. It was nothing sugar coated. Nothing.
Except for the cereal. All the cereal was covered in sugar.
Oh yeah.
The sugar coating was reserved for the cereal.
You know, I was explaining to my husband what we used to eat in high school, and he was like, wow, I wish we had lunch like that. I'm like, oh, yeah, Pizza Hut used to come up there and sell us pizzas. We would get like bean and cheese burritos. Like, we had all kinds of stuff, and I didn't drink no water in high school.
Yeah, we had
appalling.
Yeah,
it was appalling.
We had segregation when I was in school. We had what's called the hot line and the cold line. The hot line.
So you could get hot lunch.
Hot lunch, and then the cold line, you had hamburgers. Everything was hamburgers. Freaking hamburgers. Like if you want to get a quick meal, go to the cold line because you can just grab a hamburger, put it on your plate, you're good. But the hot line, I mean, they try to feed you some variety of different, like TV dinner type style, right? Looked like everything came straight out of a TV dinner.
It's like we had regular lunch, and then we had like the snack bar line, and then we had like little like carts where they would sell different things like pizzas and burritos or like burgers. Like different vendors would come in and sell different things. And then when we became seniors, we were able to leave the campus and go out and get like our own lunch.
Yeah, and that's the weirdest thing about coming up through the days now. I mean, the younger generation wouldn't dare do some of the things we did back in the day. They wouldn't dare talk about hot lunch, cold lunch, eating this. I got to have this. I can't do this and all that. The younger generation wouldn't dare be in the hot class.
No, they wouldn't. And you know what? Now, at least in California, to get federal funding for schools, there is a nutritional ratio they have to meet. So kids are not allowed to do what we did in high school, which was like run up into the line and buy like packaged donuts and biscuits and other crap.
Really?
You actually have to eat. You have to get like the full lunch if you're buying or getting school lunch because it has to meet nutritional guidelines. It's crazy. It's like kids don't look, teenagers eat like crap. Let them just eat like crap. That's why their metabolism is good. So they can eat like crap. And then when they're 20, they have to learn. But California has implemented pretty strict rules. And we see the problem in the elementary schools for anyone who has elementary school kids going through this, where the regulations are the same from like 2nd to 5th grade. So the 2nd graders have too much food and they're throwing it away. And the 5th graders don't have enough food and they're hungry and cranky. But you can't get just another helping of chicken nuggets. You have to get a whole lunch because it has to meet the ratios. It's crazy. And kids aren't allowed to like put their, we're like, can't they just put their apples on the table? And if somebody else wants an extra apple, take it. No, because that messes up the ratio of what they're, I'm like, seriously, it's fruit. Just put all the fruit in a bowl on a table and the kids who are still hungry can grab another piece of fruit.
I wish my son would eat lunch at school, but he's so picky. I have to make him lunch every day. I'm tired.
And so back in the 90s, what kind of technology we had? We had call phones, the big brick phones. We had pages. We had Apple had computers, but we couldn't afford them.
Correct.
So we had Windows.
We had them at school. I had the Apple computers at school.
Right. So we had Windows NT, right? It was Windows. It wasn't even Windows. It was like Windows NT or Windows ME. We had Windows ME. And that's it. No, that's all the technology we had. We didn't have, the fastest computer I think Microsoft had was megabytes instead of gigabytes when it came down to the RAM. They were using like very low end processors.
So by like 94, 95, we had a computer in our house because my dad was in education. So he had a computer for work, but then we had CompuServe. So CompuServe had DOS-based chat rooms. Prior to AOL having chat rooms, my parents had no idea. Talk about the Wild West. Like there's no like language filters. Everything was on the black screen in the different colors. Oh,
yeah,
it was fun.
And what's so funny? Shout out to my sister Janine is in the building. She said dial-up. Remember that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
There's that scene from when Harry was it You've Got Mail, the movie.
I love that movie.
It does the whole dial-up sequence. If my kids ever watch that movie, which they probably never will, but if they ever do, they're going to be like, what the hell is that? It's like, that is the struggle. That is the wait before you can get on. And that is,
you needed all of those noises. Yes. Yep. You needed all that.
You needed to hear it.
Yes. And what? Tech Rat says something that really brought to my attention. I used to go to the store and buy cheat codes. Or I used to call a friend of mine and say, hey, what's a cheat code so I can beat this Mario game?
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
They don't do that no more.
Yes.
My son, he plays Mario Odyssey on Nintendo Switch. He's 6 years old. He goes on YouTube and watches them and then emulates it on the TV. I'm like,
so do I. So do I. Oh, that was funny on Twitter yesterday. All the people who were like, I'm stuck on this game. I can't get past this level. What am I supposed to do without YouTube? It's like, well, there used to be cheat codes. We used to have books.
Right.
They don't sell the books for some games, but there were books. Like, we figured it out. Yeah.
Yes. We had it's people put Nintendo. We had Nintendo, Atari 2600,
Sega Genesis.
Sega, Sega. Super Nintendo.
Yeah, say it like they used to say, Sega.
They say it like really fast. Sega.
Yep.
Sega.
Sega.
You know what? This is so random, but in the 90s, they came out with Street Fighter, the movie Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. I wish so bad that they would make Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat all over again. What they can do with the technology now.
Isn't there a modern Mortal Kombat movie?
Yeah.
I haven't seen one.
Yeah.
But yes, it would be awesome.
Yes. And so shout out
Mortal
to
Kombat 2015.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it is?
Yep, there was a Mortal
gotta check
Kombat
it
movie
out.
in 2015.
Yes.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know.
Shout out to Dexter. He said up, down, down. That used to be the cheat code.
Yes.
Up, down, down, side, side. Up, down, down, side, side.
Left, right, left, right.
Left, right. Up, down, down, left, right, left, right, left, right. And
Also,
look,
the way you restart your iPhone
Left, right.
XS.
yes. Look, what's so funny? Remember Super Mario Brother? I think that was to stage 6, 5, or 4, where you had to have Super Mario at the bottom of the step, where you had the little things coming down there. In order to get infinity lives, you had to do it perfectly. You had to hit the little thing and kept on hitting it and get buku lives. Y'all remember that? Oh my! And then we used to skip levels. So
Yep.
It's like the second stage. You had to jump all the way at the top and go across to go to another stage, to another level.
But you had to do it just right, so you could just go.
Yeah.
That's right.
The mushrooms. Yep.
Yep.
The mushrooms. It used to get infinity lives. Oh my God.
Just Wallace, I used to use cheat codes for Grand Theft Auto as well. I really enjoyed that game. I love me some Grand Theft Auto.
I was a professional watcher when it came to that game. I had the book. I would read the book while people would play so they could get through the little. I had a cheat book, so I would be the reader.
Oh, you're the
And I
best.
enjoyed
You're
watching.
the navigator. So my husband was always the
Yeah.
navigator. My husband was always the navigator for games. Dexter says, shout out to old Legend of Zelda. Yes, we used to draw maps for old Legend of Zelda of like, because you would go up, left, right. And so we used to draw out maps of where we had gone to try to remember where we'd been in Legend of Zelda.
My husband loves
like elementary school.
Final Fantasy. I was a Final Fantasy fanatic.
Yes. Frank said stage 3. Right. Stage 3 on Super Mario. Yes. It's so funny. All the youngsters that's in the chat room, like, what the hell are they talking about?
Right.
I thought this was supposed to be a tech channel. And we all talking about tech.
We're talking retro
I took that to college.
Retro
I took
tech.
Super Tech Mobile to college.
Yes.
You know what? My favorite gaming system was Dreamcast. Like that was like the first gaming system I actually beat a whole game, the Sonic game. And then also, remember when Game Boy Color came out?
Oh yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I remember when it came out, I never had a Game Boy until I was an adult, and I was like, I'm buying my own freaking Game Boy. And then the Nintendo Switch came out after I got my like 3DS, and we all had DSs, and then the Switch came out. Now we have 2 Switches at my house because I don't want to share with my but it's so much fun. It was so funny on this last cruise. I saw so many people playing the Nintendo Switch.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
so
definitely.
many people gaming on the Switch because you can be independent of the internet. So
Right.
everyone was gaming on the Switch.
My
it was
husband,
really cool.
my husband went out and bought the Switch when it first came out. When he was supposed to be working, but he like ran to like a store and bought it. And now my son took it over. So I'm like, no, this is his Switch now. It's not yours.
Yes. I remember Dreamcast, ColecoVision. Somebody said Mike Tyson Punch Out. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Glass
Glass Joe.
Such a
hit me first.
People punch out. And it's like point, 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 point. And you got and it like, oh man, that was the days, man. That was fun.
Oh, y'all going
And
back.
see, the thing is, we all savored it because you would get one game for like a year.
Right.
And that's all you're playing. Like
Yeah.
you're just in it because that's all you have. And you might get to go to a friend's house who has a different game and go to and play, but you had to work through games and find every little detail because you were playing them over and over and over because that's what you had. My kids are like, can I get a new app? Can I get a new app? Because they're limited until you hit where you've got to pay for more levels or pay for
Right.
whatever.
Right.
And so they go through things so much faster. There's there's very few games that really break through where they're like, oh my God, remember that. Like Fortnite will definitely be one of them, where down the road, my kid will be like, okay, did you guys play Fortnite when you were growing up? Like when I was 10, that was my jam. And now he's like, no, Overwatch is still better. But there's very few games that kids are playing for so long, and you can rent them, you can get them mailed to you, you can download them. It's not
Emily,
the way
they will
that
never know the struggles that Dexter's talking about.
Dexter, you're blowing on the cartridges.
Oh my God.
Oh yes.
Oh, I actually used to get so upset. I'm ready to play, and now I got the blow in the cartridge.
Yep. Yep.
Some people ain't got that alcohol in a Q-tip.
I've been there.
Yeah, I've been there. Alcohol in the Q-tip. Yep, I've been there. You know what? That's so crazy. It's like everybody did it.
Yep. Michael Wilson said left, right, up, down, A, B, A, down. Yes. Exactly. Blood Code and Mortal Kombat. It was just, people were playing the same thing at the same time, but we were playing games for so much longer because we really needed, because A, games weren't coming out as fast, and B, my parents were like, no. Like, no. I don't know. I am unable to say no half the time because I'm like, yeah, I want a new app. Yeah, I want that game. But we game so much more differently. We game so much differently now than we used to, and I think there's some good to that. And I think there's some downsides to that too. So,
well, I mean, I think if it wasn't for us, older generation that really worked hard and to get to the next level, we will be where we at right now. Because guess what? If we didn't play the games that we played back in the day, Atari and all these other companies would be where they at right now. Now I know they made some critical mistakes, but I think once you got the PlayStation, and now you got you still got Nintendo and all that stuff like that. I think we are very good, right? A lot of technology going on, especially when you look at some of the older games. I mean, very pixelated. And now what we had, a lot of people see a lot of people putting the Duck Hunt. I remember that, man. I shoot that gun with that wire hanging out.
That dog would laugh at you.
Yeah. The dog was a dick.
You know it was a good game? Like, you guys remember N64, 007?
Oh, yeah, GoldenEye. Yes. It's so funny that I can actually go back and play those games. And, they released they released some retro style games that comes with all that stuff, like Donkey Kong and all that. Yes. So, and I have 2 of them. So I go back and
I got a classic upstairs too.
They messed up a little bit because they made the joystick cord too short. They
you can
got
buy
some hacks,
or you can buy longer cords. Yeah.
Okay.
They have longer cords. Yeah.
Frogger. Oh man, somebody just put Frogger on there. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I could never beat Frogger though. Somehow the cars was always.
I could never beat Frogger.
I can't never beat Frogger.
Yep. Nintendo went through some rough patches too.
Yes.
They went through definitely a slump after, was it the Cube? The Nintendo Cube before the Wii came out.
Right.
There was definitely like a lull in Nintendo, and all of the first-person shooter games were really getting very big on, 360 and on PlayStation, and everybody was playing Halo and Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto, and that's not Nintendo's jam, and they've never really gone that direction with the first-person shooters. They've stayed a family platform, which I thought was lame when I was in college, and now that I'm a parent, I'm like, yes, I love Nintendo. I'm back. I'm here for it. All the Pokemon, all the fun family games, all of the little Miis that look kind of stupid. I'm here for it.
Yes.
But Nintendo definitely went through a slump and came back, which is pretty incredible because most companies today wouldn't stay the course and ride out that slump to have a comeback.
Right. You know what? They never changed the prices on their games neither.
Yep.
And so we went from the 1990s to the notch. That's where we at right now. This is where we at right now.
Speaking of pixels.
Speaking of pixelated. Now we are here with the notch. This shout out to Google Gaga for sending out the press kit. And this is my Google Pixel 3. They didn't see me the XL. They probably knew that I would go talk about the notch.
They didn't want to see you no saggy titties.
No, they didn't want to see me no saggy titties. And if y'all didn't see my video, here's my Notch Life shirt. I made a video about that. I did it all from a phone. So if y'all didn't see how I made this shirt, I made a video about that. But this is the Google Pixel. And it's a Pixel. It's the Google Pixel. A lot of people ask me, well, Easy, what's your thoughts about the Google Pixel? Hey, look, the first video I made with the Google Pixel was a camera review. And I don't know, man. Look at this phone. And it's this Pixel, man. It's a Pixel. It's like, it's really nothing too much to talk about. Like, if stock Android Pie, you know, that's about it. I don't know. What y'all want to know about the Pixel? That's the whole thing. Everybody talking the cameras. Well, I made a camera video already. Shout out to Michael. Thank you for the super chat. Super chat is wide open. Thank you very much. But yeah, the Pixel. Everybody been hyping the Pixel up. Hey, the Pixel, the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I mean, if you got an iPhone, it's an iPhone, right? I mean, if you're in iOS, you already know what you get, right? I mean, you're getting iOS 12. I mean, it's yeah, you got some enhancements, but the Pixel is the Pixel. I mean, if you got here's the thing. If you got a Galaxy S9 or Galaxy Note 9, going from a Galaxy S9 to a Galaxy Note 9 to a Pixel, it's confusing because it's stripping you naked. You don't have no features. You don't have no split screen. You don't have none of that stuff. And so when you look at that going from a Galaxy device with full of features, S Pen and all that stuff like that to a Pixel, if you go, listen, to everybody that's thinking that they're going to go from a Samsung to a Pixel because of great cameras, go watch my video. It ain't all that seems. Trust me.
Right.
Go watch the video, and that's the whole thing, you know. So I see y'all. Let's go through some comments.
Yeah, Big House was asking about the speakers, and I told him on your video I didn't like how they sound, like you were in recording.
Right, and so what I did in the video, y'all guys got to remember, it was like 3 a.m. in the morning when I shot that video about it, and I did, and yes, I shot that video last night. I never went to sleep, by the way, so I shot that video last night between 1 and 4 a.m. in the morning, and I shot that. And so what I did was I had the cameras on the tripod, and I was actually speaking very loud. I was yelling actually when I was in the parking lot. And so what I wanted to do in that video is make it as authentic as possible. Everything in auto, no enhancements, no flickering around with no settings and nothing like that. I just turned on the camera app and I shot the video. That's it. And that's how I do my camera reviews. I don't mess with the audio files. I don't mess with anything. I just point and shoot because I believe that, yes, you can you can tinker around with anything with a phone, but I believe that the average consumer is going to just open the camera app and take a picture or open the camera app and shoot video. Now, for us techies, we could go and change the ISO. Yes, we could change. Yes, we could do this. We could do all that. But I made the video based off the average consumer. Point and shoot. That's it. Right. Point and shoot. So what y'all saw in that video is point, shoot, camera app, turn it on the video recorder, and that's it. So as far as the mics, and look, I like doing these with the mics because a lot of people really want to know how the sound quality is going to be if you record a video. And maybe Google will do some updates, upgrades, because I mean, technically, the Google Pixel is not out. Technically, the phone come out Friday or something. So all of us tech reviewers, we got the press kits, we got them early. And look, I want to put this disclaimer out there. Google did tell us, and I don't know if they told me, that updates will be coming because it's pre-release unit. So it will be updates. So it'll fix some of those things. So that is, I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Yes, almost 6 months. Oh, my sister. Oh, by the way, my sister's having a BB. Y'all didn't know.
Oh,
She having a
I
BB.
love babies. They're so cute.
Well,
I
so you know
love
if you're having a
other
boy or girl,
people's
you wait.
babies.
Yeah, I like other people's babies too.
Other people's babies. I'm the woman that will hold the baby all day. That's who I am.
I totally will. I just don't want to have any
Mhm.
more.
Mess them up. I spoil them and give them right back to you.
Yep, I am closed, but I will hold your damn baby all day.
I want to have one more, but I also want a tummy tuck. So,
Have your one more first.
yes, absolutely. Mommy makeover. She's coming.
You'll
Give me a few years.
But you've only got one, and you've got a little one. So
Oh, no, I got
got two.
two.
You've got two. That's right.
I got a 6-year-old and soon to be 3-year-old.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. Good luck. But if you're here for it, I was not. After my second one, I was like, I love you so much. Done. Like there was a definite doneness.
I need like space between them because they're so needy at this age. I just, I need time, and then I gotta like psych my mind up to gain all that weight again, and I don't want to gain all that weight again. And I'm a very angry pregnant woman. Like I'm not happy at all. I'm very bitter. Like
like hating life, loving babies.
Right.
Oh, so Janine's having a gender reveal soon, so can't wait to hear what she's having. Yeah, I did a one and done. I think both of y'all. You got two, don't you, Emily?
I have two.
Yeah, I'm one and done.
It was not easy either time.
I feel like for my last, I don't want to know until I have the baby, but I can only have C-sections. So
yeah, me too. 36 hours of labor to have a C-section.
Oh my goodness.
One and done.
Kinds of bullshit. Yeah, you're like, and scene.
Done.
It's all right. You've got Jibo.
Yes.
Yeah.
If the urge strikes, you can always get a puppy.
Yeah. Well, I have 3 dogs, so.
Oh, there you go. Not another puppy then. You're full.
I want a dog. We used to have a dog, but my son is allergic to pet dander. And we didn't know. He was breaking out in hives since he was like 1, and we didn't even know he was allergic to our dog, so we had to give him to my dad.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
So get back into the tech real quick. So the Google Pixel 3. Now the question is it worth $1,000? Hell no! Come on, man. Y'all gotta be crazy, man. Man, I'm like, okay, so I mean, I've been having a phone for a few days or whatever, and I'm like, okay, this phone, the regular Google Pixel is $799 for the 64 gig, and if you want the 128 gigs, it's $900. That's $900 before tax, people. So when you add tax to the $900 Google Pixel, you add $1,000. You got to get a case, you got to get a screen protector, so you add $1,000 with a Pixel. Now, don't get me wrong. It's stock Android. It reminds me of a little iPhone. It reminds me of like the iPhone 8. Like, it has bezels. So, I mean,
that's why I would like it. I think
big.
the Pixel 3
look at the bezels. This is a Pixel 3. Look
big.
at the bezels on that thing. And like, well, easy. It got front-facing speakers. Give me a fucking break, man.
What about the wide angle lens for your selfies during the holidays that are coming up right now?
So the camera
doesn't make you look as pretty as an iPhone.
It won't.
I mean, God, dog, man. It's like I'm looking at this phone. This phone kind of reminds me of 2016. You know, we got big bezels. You know, big forehead, big chin. I mean, God,
and it's a little phone. You got all that forehead and chin on the little phone.
Yeah.
Wait, how big is the display on that one again? Oh, goodness.
wait, let me get this out. This is my Galaxy Note. All right, this is the Note. This is this phone. Look at that.
Oh my God. The first iPhone. I'm gonna need some readers for that one.
Yeah, this is tiny, folks. Small. It is small.
How many inches is that screen?
Well, I think it's 6.1. You know, it's an 18 by 9 aspect ratio. I don't know. I think it's 5 by 8.
But that's what I was telling Catwoman about that iPhone.
The iPhone gonna be small, folks.
She needs the max. She needs to get the max.
The iPhone gonna be small.
I tried to do that to myself with the was it the 8 or the 7? One of those I tried to get the smaller one, and I didn't keep it a week. I sold it.
I did the 10 for a year, and then it was just you start to notice how much smaller it feels once the Max came out. I was like, ooh,
5.5. How big is the 10? How big was the 10?
Bigger than that, because the 10 was the same size as the 8X.
Yeah, the 10 is 5.8.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing about the 10. The 10 doesn't have bezels.
Right. So
the 10 is like
edge
the same size as edge to edge, though.
Right.
Yeah, about that size right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm looking at this phone, man. You know, you want to give it a benefit of the doubt, really, truly. If you're going to get a Pixel, folks, it's all about the stock experience. It's all about cameras in the daytime. It's all about getting the latest and greatest as far as making sure that you're going to get full updates for the next 2 or 3 years, and you're going to get it first on the Pixel. Now, shout out to OnePlus. That's going to be a difference maker in the next couple of weeks. OnePlus 6T. But I would even go and say the OnePlus 6 is a device to consider if you want to get stock Android. And it's going to be a much beautiful phone. I mean, come on now. Listen, man. I talk about this. This phone does not win no awards in when it comes down to beautiful. Because let me see if I can take this this collectible case off. And I think my phone is scratched up.
Oh, really? Already?
Oh, it came scratched?
Yeah,
Did you have scratch
it has a soft soft glass. And I do notice a little, and I think the phone is a few days old. I've been having it in the case. I don't know. I got couple of little strips here and there on it. I don't know what's going on with this glass on the back of this phone, man.
Do you get any fingerprints on it?
It's very minimal fingerprints, but you could definitely scratch this phone. At first I thought about if it may not be glass or something on the back of this phone.
What about after you use cocoa butter cream?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. I like to use cocoa butter cream.
So I don't know. It just maybe me, and maybe I'll wipe it off. I don't want to talk about it. I mean, it's little micro scratches or something on the back of this thing.
That happened with the iPhone, with the piano black iPhone.
Oh yeah.
The second that piano black came out, people were like, is it scratching when I'm cleaning it? Like, what is happening?
But actual cases were even scratching them.
It was scratching. Yeah, it just showed so much scratch. So that's a shiny black back. So I'm not
with my 7, I had like a lot of like smudge marks on it. But like I said, I like to use cocoa butter. So I was smudging the hell out of the phone. But I'm moisturized.
Look, she was lubing her phone down. She's like, I'm gonna put lotion on me, lotion on you.
We're all good.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to. I'm trying to put my mindset for Google here. They come out with 2 phones. They got the big one with the notch. They got the small one without the notch. And when they come down to design, the phone would not win no awards when they come down to design. But when they come down to functionality, I think it'd be fine. I think, as far as speed, now a lot of people tripping about 4 gigs of RAM. Look, listen, I feel you on now. Well, 4 gigs of RAM, but 845, I don't think it's going to make a difference in speed. Now, I know I saw a couple of videos where MKBHD talked about his Pixel 2 was slowing down because it's a possibility because it needs more RAM. And I know Google, Android itself is going to another level. It's trying to do things, but it's still stock Android. Now, somebody brought up a really good synopsis about this. If Google is putting these minimal specs in it, is it future-proof? That I thought about that, and I think to myself, if I'm gonna pay $1,000 for a phone, I'll get the OnePlus 6, 8 gigs of RAM, 845 processor. That's future-proof to me. Because even if you spent $1,200 on a Galaxy Note with the 8 gigs of RAM in it, that's future-proof. 845 is going to be fine for a couple of years, but the RAM management and stuff like that, I'm thinking about the next iteration of Android. plus the skin on top. I don't know, but is the Google Pixel with the specs that it has, very minimum specs, would it be a future-proof phone? Because some people say yes. If you go back to the first Pixel, it had the 821 processor with 4 gigs of RAM, and it still runs pretty good. The Google Pixel 2 has the 835, 4 gigs of RAM, and it does pretty good. I mean, like I say, some people say their devices start to slow down or whatever. But this device also has the 845 with 4 gigs of RAM. I don't know. And somebody said the iPhone is future-proof. I agree with that. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm about to pull out my iPhone 5S. Some people say the iPhone 5S is getting iOS 12. God, that's what, 5 generations? I don't know. Somebody hit me up and said, "Hey, easy. My iPhone 5S got iOS 12." I'm like, you sure about that? Isn't it like 6 generations or something? I don't know, but I'm gonna look into it.
To whip that out and try that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it because a lot of people leave me a lot of comments about this phone doing this and this phone doing that, and I don't make no videos about it until I test it myself. So I do have an iPhone 5S somewhere, and I thought that Apple stopped at 6 or maybe 6S.
I'm gonna look for the list real quick.
Okay,
I'll find the list.
Okay. Janine said $1,200 on a phone. Shit, better bring me to work and back and bring home the bacon. That's right. I mean, look, people paying their mortgages for phones right now. I mean, it's definitely two cardinals to think about. An iPhone, $1,500. That may be a mortgage and a half for some people.
But see, that's the other thing. An iPhone holds its value. Like I can go, I get tired of the phone, I can go sell it, and I can still make money off of it.
Right.
So
or get most of my money back out of it.
Yep,
so Apple has listed that it will support all the way back to the iPhone 5S released in 2013.
Wow.
And which I knew when iOS was released, but it also goes back to the iPad Air to 2013 and the iPad Mini 2s to 2013. And we're actually running it on a couple of iPad Mini 2s, and they do run better. So I think Apple's done a lot with the battery management in there to make sure it's not a terrible experience. Because I've had some terrible experiences trying to put newer iOSs on older phones. But this one actually has run really smoothly. So I bet it runs decently on a 5S.
Wow. Because look, when I look at a 5S, I would recommend get the SE because they have updated specs on it.
Right.
But to have the iPhone 5S to run iOS 12, that brings up the question of a support. Because God, in the Android field, man, look, right now, Android Pie is out. It's been out for like 4 months, right? 3 months or 4 months. And they only got less than a handful of phones that's running Android Pie. Out of the hundreds and hundreds of phones out there that's on Android, even the phones that's coming out with Android 8. I'm like, wait a minute.
You guys are talking about the iPhone 5. I have an iPhone 5.
5S.
5S.
Which one is this one?
Look how pretty. That is pretty.
I have to charge it, but I will definitely download iOS 12.
I love that design. That design is beautiful. Oh my God.
Yeah, I got it because I love gray.
She's right. Apple's future proof. Here's the thing about Apple. Look, y'all can see this if you go online. If you go online and try to sell like an iPhone 6S, which about 4 years old,
yep,
you're gonna get top dollar for that. I mean, what, $300-400 for it?
Right. For a 2015 phone.
Right. So try to get an Android 2015 phone. Let's say a Galaxy S4.
Right. Garbage.
I mean, try to see how much you can sell that phone for. Maybe what, $20? Somebody might pay you to keep it. So that's the difference.
They're going to charge you to recycle it at that point.
Right. And so that's
like, you pay us and we'll take it.
And it's a shame that the cost value of Android phones is like a vehicle. Like when you take a car off the car lot, it devalues like 30%, like just like that. So when you look at an Android phone, this say this $1,000 Pixel. I mean, God, I mean, you can't sell a Pixel online for $1,000, even though it's not even out yet. So I look at the devaluation of Android phones. I would give you another example. The Galaxy Note 9, the $1,200, $1,000 Galaxy Note 9. I mean, you could buy that phone for like $700 right now online. I mean, the phone devalued like big time. I mean, the carriers is doing like buy one and
I was
get
gonna
a
say, if
freaking
you come out the
TV.
gate doing buy one get one free and stuff like that, they're not gonna hold value. Yeah,
right. I mean, you could get a 32-inch TV if you buy a Galaxy Note 9 at Best Buy. I mean, they're giving the phone away for Christ's sakes. It's just going to say that if they come out the gate with $1,000 phone, and then right out the gate they got to do buy one get one free, buy one we'll furnish your house, buy one get a free TV, buy one we'll have a stripper pole in your house with free women coming. I mean, God, buy one you got free donuts for life. I mean, I don't know. I think these people need to reconsider what's the best interest for the consumer, right? I think price. Everybody always talk about price, and I know in the United States we got it good. People say we spoil. We go to AT&T, Verizon, and we pay tax on a device, and we just break it into 30 payments, or whatever. I mean, look, think about this. T-Mobile is rolling out 36 months. By the way, they're about to beat AT&T with 30 months. They're about to do 36 freaking months. Listen, folks, this time out. Do not pay for a phone for 36 months. That's I mean, come on, man. You got to be kidding me here. I mean, you'd be like, well, easy. It's $15 a month. I can afford that.
But you can't afford it. Add it all up. Listen to some Dave Ramsey, and but once again, what Dave Ramsey would say is your iPhone 5S works fine. What I would say is, I want it. It's pretty. I make money. I buy things. But that's the one thing about Apple is that you really, unless you're a nerd, you do not have to buy a new phone every year, and you will just be fine. People are not mad at their 8S Max or their iPhone 8 Max. They're not Plus. Gosh, I can't even talk. Their iPhone 8 Plus. They're not. People are still really happy with the iPhone 7. So when it changes to the front-facing cameras and you get some of those new features, there's people who are like, I want those new features. But then there's a lot of people who are like, my phone works fine. I don't really care, and I'm not going to turn myself into a cartoon.
Right. I feel like before I got on this stream, I was perfectly content with
we ruined you
every other year, and now I'm like looking at specs, like,
right.
Well, somebody put it. Uno Dice put in this right. Xiaomi is coming out with a phone with 10 gigs of RAM. Now, are we at the point where Android is that effed up that we got to put 10 gigs of RAM in a phone?
But he also mentioned that 5G, and aren't they like they coming out with that 5G on theirs first?
Yeah, I got a 5G phone. I got I have the Moto Z3 that's 5G. The phone got 4 gigs of RAM in it. I got a 835 processor with 4 gigs of RAM, and it's supposed to be 5G compatible. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm confused. Look, don't get me wrong. Either Xiaomi was going to do it or OnePlus going to do it. OnePlus going to do it either way. I would be shocked that this OnePlus 6T come out with 10 gigs of RAM in it. I mean, wasn't OnePlus the first one came out with 8 gigs of RAM? So 10 gigs of RAM, and then in 2019 going into 2020, we're going to see 12 and 16 gigs of RAM in a phone. That's going to be hilarious. But I start questioning the platform at this point. You got Microsoft computers that has 4 gigs of RAM that runs okay, but it's a whole operating system. In mobile devices, we are at the point where we have to put 10 gigs of RAM in it. Are we getting to the point where they're destroying shit in there so they can charge us $1,000? Or we are not paying attention to what they I don't know. Is it an Android problem? Because if we don't get no updates, I mean, how long would it take for phones to be on Android Pie? I mean, come on, man. We almost at the end of the year right now. Phones coming out with Android 8.1 on it, but they promise Android. See, I don't like that word. They promise. See that word promise? They will update it to Pie. But you know what's so funny? A lot of people that's in the Android ecosystem say, well, I don't want Pie. I don't want Pie. I want to stay on Android 8.1. And I'm confused at that. I understand people say, well, my phone running good, Eric. I don't worry about updates as long as it keep running good. But here's the point. If you don't get updates and then Pie's out and then come Q next year, right? That comes out and you still stuck on 8.1, then you're going to start running into some problems. Because now all the app developers will start updating the apps to Android Q or whatever, the next iteration of Android. And your phone be stuck on Android 8. Then you start seeing some performance issues, some app crashes, some other stuff like that, just because of you not running the latest Android. And why wouldn't you want the latest version of Android? A lot of people say they don't like Pie. Okay, I have Nova Launcher running on this phone, and I agree with you. Some things about Pie that I don't like, especially on the Pixel. I do not like my search at the bottom. I don't like that. So what do? Even though I got 9.0, I got Nova Launcher, but I still got the latest security patches. I still got all the enhancements. I still got everything. But I had to put a launcher on there because I don't like. You can't do that on stock Android, by the way. You can't remove that damn search engine. You can't remove it. So I don't know. I don't know where we're going at with smartphones, folks. I'm confused because now we starting to see Android go the iOS route.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say, how do you feel about the gestures and stuff?
Yeah, and you know what? And I think here's the thing, because they predicting that the iPhone XR will sell 30 million phones this year. Now we already the 10th month.
Right.
We only got like 2 more months.
That is going to be the Christmas phone that every teenager gets. That is what everybody's buying for the holidays.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
30 million in 2 months. They talk about world record breaking all kinds of stuff for the XR. Right. And that's just in 2018. They got to go through 2019 till the next iPhone come out. This phone going to be 100 million units for one phone here. We talk
one phone out of 3. Yeah, one phone out of 3 released. So, I mean, the thing is, Apple is definitely gaining tractions in their phone. And the more Apple simplifies their product suite, the easier it is for people to see what they need. Okay, I need an iPhone, or I need a laptop, or I need a desktop. That is all, folks. Like, that's it. Pick what you need.
And you know what? Here's the thing
about a tablet.
Here's the thing about the difference between the Pixel lineup and Android. I mean, Android and iPhone. And I think this is where we closing the gap. I believe, this is my whole synopsis of this. If people don't want to be on the Apple ecosystem and they want to have the freedom of Android, this is where the Pixel come in at. You have the best of both worlds. You got the same style, the same operating system, the same touch gestures, the same notch, everything. But you got a little more freedom on Android, which you can tinker around with your phone. You can put, what they call widgets, and you got an app drawer and stuff like that. And you're going to get updates because it's a Pixel. And if you look at the Pixel 3 and you look at an iPhone 10, it's the same width and length. I mean, Google got it down to science when they're trying to mimic Apple. And this is being real. People are like, no, they're not easy. You crazy. Listen, if you run an Android Pie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you got an iPhone and you got an Android Pie, I mean, you touch gestures, holding it up, swiping to the left, swiping to the right. I mean, it's all the same. The only difference is in Android, you got an app drawer. and you could customize it with launchers and all kinds of stuff like that. So, and look, here's the thing. So you figure that if Apple go sell 30 million iPhones, that's why you see people got the notch. That's why you got people who want to get on this and want to do this and want to do that, because they're trying to get some people. Please, out of 30 million, can we at least get 1 million? How about 500,000? So I think that's what you're seeing here. I see a lot of people putting in the comments. Somebody say 50,000 subs using Google. We can do. Yeah, the Central phone. We saw that. It's embarrassing. Big Miss Tech says embarrassing. Let's see. Good night, people. 5 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. Oh, it's sick.
Dexter Cumberbatch makes a good point and says Google doesn't have an iMessage or FaceTime competitor. Truth. And that the Apple, as always, Dexter, you make a very good point, and that the Apple Watch is a big factor. So I think there are people who their heads have been turned by Apple Watch, and I'm wondering if the next iteration of Apple Watch is completely iPhone independent, because the Apple Watch is now becoming its own thing. But I think this version of the Apple Watch definitely turned people's heads.
Yeah. Let's see. Please Don't Bite said that the Android Pie gestures is nothing like iOS. Actually, if I'm high. Now, I'm going to take that as a constructive criticism. I'm going to take it as, whatever. I mean, I take constructive criticism because it's your first time here. Like your first time here. Your first time here.
So watch out.
Yeah, it's your first time here, so I'm going to let it slide. And I'm going to tell you right now, no, I'm not high. I am drunk. I am drinking, but I'm not high.
It's why Wednesday, if you can't come for that.
Right. And I can tell you that if you run an Android Pie and you got an iPhone 10, it's similar. Is it like 100%? No, of course not. They'll be suing each other, obviously. But is it similar?
Very similar, yeah.
Very similar. So I could tell you that they're very similar. And I don't know. It's just one of those things that if you look at Android 8.1 to Android 9, it is a complete difference. And if you got an iPhone 10 running iOS 12 and you got an Android device running Pi, it's similar. A lot similar. Okay. So, no, I'm not high. I don't smoke. Sorry. And I'm gonna take that as a constructive criticism. I am. Look, man, y'all got to understand. I like a lot of people that just come on the YouTube channel. They don't know the history. They don't know a lot of things. They come on here and make a sarcastic comment, and especially when it's your first time on here. It brings me up to these questions. Well, why make a comment when you don't even know who we are? But that's the thing. Let's see. Easy. I like you. I feel like you're a real man. I'm a real Google man. Google Gaga.
Troll.
Yeah. I'll be giving you your $1 billion endorsement deal to your Patreon. Hey.
50K subs using Google. I feel like that is an enforceable agreement. Why don't you go ahead and send your details over to Kevin, and we'll make sure to enforce that. Easy. Are you going to rely on that $1 billion now? Easy's going to change his life based on it. So there will be damages.
Yes,
I'm just kidding.
It is.
That's lawyers.
And see, when you say stuff like that, we got a lawyer here. So see, that's the thing. People don't come on and be knowing us and be like,
Michael Wilson did say congratulations to Canada. It's a weed day. Yes, Canada has legalized marijuana. So yay, Canada. Yes. I don't know. I'm in California. I'm like, whatevs. Just
same.
Whatevs. I do not like it when people drive on heroin because they fall asleep on the freeway.
Oh my god.
That frustrates me. But if you want to get high and sit at home and order Amazon Prime and Amazon Prime Now and Postmates, have at it. Have fun.
I think we are definitely on a different level when it comes down to like technology. I mean, right now with Postmates and Uber Eats, and I mean, you can order everything. You can be at home, but like, you know what, baby, I don't want to cook dinner today. I'm just going to order Postmates. all my order waiting.
No, I got a problem with that because
My husband and I have dessert coming. I was just door dashing.
I don't know how I feel about somebody like grabbing my bag, like my meal, putting it in their car, and then bringing it to me.
How is it different than pizza delivery?
Right, same thing.
I'm kind of cringing. Like pizza delivery, I don't like. I gotta go pick it up.
This is the same person who posted on Twitter talking about blowing out candles and how many germs it puts on the cake.
Exactly.
So many germs.
You know what?
So many germs. All the germs.
I do not like eating birthday cake. Like, I'll be in the background smiling, like, oh yeah, that's cute. But no, I'm gonna pass on the cake slice too.
See, I don't. Once again, doesn't bother me. But I was watching Graveyard Girl do a mukbang with Jeffree Star.
Oh my god, I watched that too. Yes.
Did you were feeling her when she's like,
yes,
I don't eat food with my hands. I need a fork. I like it when it's sealed.
Yes. You know what? I eat pizza with a fork. Like I'll like chop it up and everything, and I'll eat it. I hate things on my fingers. I have this issue with like textures and everything, and I hate when my food touches. Oh yeah, I'm on another level. When I say I'm weird, I'm weird.
No, I had a coworker, and I'll tell you, you sound just like her. I had gummy worms one day, and I saw her over there. She eat one, and then I saw her throw something in the trash. She would not eat the end of the gummy worm because she touched it with her hand.
Because hands are dirty.
Yeah,
so
yes.
I was that person who would be at work, and we would get the big thing of jelly beans from Costco. Mm-hmm. And I'm totally cool with it. And I'm like digging in there looking for the green one. And I had a coworker who's like, are you digging through the jelly beans right now? I'm like, I know there's pear ones in here somewhere. And she's like, I'm out. I can't. Y'all, how many of you have your hands in that Costco size thing of jelly beans in the workplace? Y'all nasty. And I'm like, I'm not sick. I work in a courthouse. Okay. I have been exposed to tuberculosis. Nothing is coming out of those jelly beans that isn't in the air in the courthouse with the criminals. Like, please.
I freak out.
You need some germs in your system. You need some.
Yep,
I completely forgot. When I watch people put things like their hands in a jar, I start freaking out. I have a mini panic attack, but I can't show it because I don't want to seem crazy.
This is why you didn't want to put your cell phone in your mouth.
Exactly. I don't like when I used to work. Like I used to work in the pharmacy, and people would ask to see my pen, and I'm like, "Oh no, you don't touch this pen.
There's one in the front.
You touch the community pen.
One in the front." Okay, but true. When I go to the doctor's, I always have a pen in my purse. I don't use the pens at like the doctor's office and stuff like that. But people are coming in. I feel like that's a reasonable precaution. But once again, I have no problem digging around in the jelly beans with my coworkers.
But you know what? But I just thought about this. Like, I touch pens, we touch typewriters, we touch keyboards. When you go, when you go buy the new phone, you got to sign the keypad.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't eat takeout on the way home because you touch your steering wheel and stuff, right?
Ooh.
You can't eat your fries out the bag because you're driving and you touching the steering wheel.
You need a Tesla.
You gotta get a little bit of antibacterial, and then I have this little portable Lysol spray, and I just be spraying everything. When I go into hotels, I spray everything and wipe everything down.
Yeah, nope.
I gotta live on the edge a little bit.
Yeah, I thought about this when back then when I used to be a supervisor in the fast food industry long time ago. This before the gloves. I mean, just think about this. This call it how it is. Back in when I was a supervisor, before we had to wear gloves, every employee made hamburgers with their hand.
Oh,
they did it for decades. For Christ's sake, this is not new. When you went to McDonald's, Burger King,
but then they put them on the flames.
Yeah.
Okay. The flames. Yeah, the flames kills.
Put it on flame.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about when they make it, like when they grabbing a bun. They got the spatula in their hand. They put the mayonnaise on the burger.
Did they wash their hands? Did everybody wash their hands?
Did you see them? Do you see them? That's the whole thing. I mean, they constantly working. So this is before the gloves, right? I mean, we talking about I think we're
talking about drinking out of the hose and stuff earlier. You ain't never drink out of a water hose, huh? When you was outside.
I used to drink out of water hose.
I ain't talking about you, Easy. I'm talking about this one over here.
You know what I did? But I held it out. And, I drink the flow of the water. I didn't put my mouth on it.
It came out the hose though, so it don't
I
even
know.
matter.
You know, when I was younger, I didn't know better. But as I got older, see, this is what happened to me.
You get older and you get
I got
freaked.
older and I started being interested in the medical field, and it messed me up. Now I can't like go out into public and deal with people without freaking out. I went the other day to help my son in his classroom. He's a kindergartner, and this little kid touched my hand. I almost died.
Kindergartners are nasty.
Exactly. Like I came home, I had to wash my hands before I went to the bathroom, and then I washed my hands after because I was that far.
Kindergartners are tough though. We don't eat kid-made food in our house. I do now, but I remember helping my oldest in his kindergarten classroom. They were decorating cookies, and there was a kid who like had an icing bag that exploded. He's like licking it off his arm, and he's like, "Do you want some of my cookie?" And it's like these disgusting hands covered in like lick and dirt and like frosting, and I'm like, "No," because even if my kid decorated it, I'm still not eating it.
Right.
Like that's got snot in it and stuff like that. Once again, I'm cool with the jelly beans. I am not cool with a 5-year-old making a cupcake.
Yeah, my nephew, he drops his food on the floor like he wants extra fur on it or something. And then he smiles and looks at you and eats it. Yeah, that's my nephew.
My kid does that. My son, he's 6 years old. And he's a mini me. And we freak out about everything. I never have to worry anything about him. But it's my daughter. She is, I don't know. She's fearless and she's disgusting. She gets into all kinds of things. But
Esther Cumberbatch wants to know how you feel about raw cookie dough. Like the store-bought kind, I'm assuming, not the homemade kind, because the store-bought kind.
I mean, like if I want to trick my mind and say I love raw cookie dough, it's delicious, right? Like I love cookie dough ice cream. But if I start thinking about eggs and salmonella, I'm the type of person, like you start putting stuff in my mind, I start thinking about salmonella. I'm like, oh Lord Jesus, E. coli. I start thinking about all kinds of stuff. I start scrubbing my hands and everything. Like when I think about it, I freak out. If I don't think about it, I can enjoy it. But my anxiety takes over and I will most likely freak out about something.
We were in an Uber on the way back to get the car after we got off the cruise ship in San Diego, and we were talking about San Diego a little bit and the weather, and it had rained the day before because we got all the storms through because of the hurricane. And the woman was talking about the last big hepatitis outbreak they had in San Diego, which I'm sure, Ashley, do you remember hearing about that on the news up here in LA a little bit?
You know what?
I don't remember. No. So they had this huge hepatitis C outbreak from the homeless population using the streets.
Lord. You know what? I do remember.
They were like bleaching the sidewalks and stuff. But so she's talking about that. And I'm like, I can't gesture to my Uber driver fast enough. And my son's like, what's hepatitis C? Am I going to get it from walking? Can I get it from breathing? I'm like, buddy, it's going to be fine. Don't lick the sidewalk in San Diego and you will be fine. But when it gets into his mind, he's like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
That's me. You remember, do you guys remember the swine flu?
Yes.
And
the bird flu.
Right. I was working in the pharmacy during the swine flu, and they would tell me, like, you got to go up there and help the people because you don't have a family. And I'm like, what? We would tell people we didn't even have Tamiflu just so they would leave. Like,
we're out. Go die.
So I think that question was for Ashley. Do you take your phone to the bathroom?
Tony, that's a great question.
You know what?
Because she totally does. Look at her. She totally does.
I kind of don't.
You don't?
I'm a quick bathroom user. It doesn't matter if it's number 1 or number 2. I'm in there and I'm out. Like I don't have nowhere to balance it on. But you know what? When I think about people's phones in the bathroom, I freak myself out. Like seriously.
We need to take a poll in the chat room. I want you all to put a yes for everyone that takes their phone in the bathroom.
I do, but I have phone soap. I have phone soap.
Oh, I know everybody does.
I don't take cups. I won't take I drink water cups like this all over my house. I don't take these into the bathroom. But I also put the lid down on my toilet before I flush it.
Oh, absolutely. Or all the fecal matter will be in the air, like dropping on stuff.
And once again, I only put my phone in my mouth on rare occasion.
Right.
Yeah, I totally take my phone in the bathroom. I have children. I have to take my phone in the bathroom. It's the only time I try to
stick my phone in the phone soap at least once a week.
That's good.
So everybody's saying yes. I've seen everybody's putting in there saying yes. Yes,
And
germs.
Sean is saying everything that's unhealthy today didn't harm us when we were kids. When we were kids, we had antibodies because we basically ate dirt like mongrels. Like we just ran wild and we ate food and food had dirt on it. We ate, we did whatever. We shared food at the lunch table in elementary school. You see an elementary school kid sharing food, they get sent to the principal's office at our school. Like you're not allowed to share.
You're not allowed.
Food.
Yeah, my
They're
son's
not allowed
high
to
school.
share
You're not
food.
allowed.
You know what
Not
I
Those kids are getting
realized?
other kids high on drugs and stuff with their food.
You know what I realized? Like you guys,
See, ours is for peanut allergies at the
I
elementary
don't know
school.
about everybody like elsewhere, but the ice cream man. Like when I was younger, I loved going to the ice cream man. Now I look at the ice cream man, he looks like a drug dealer. Like I don't want my kids buying ice cream.
The ice cream man was a drug dealer when we were kids. I told you that happened
Which is
too.
weird, but why does the ice cream man look so shady and shifty? I'm
They
like,
always look shady.
when I was younger, I was willing to buy everything from him: ice cream, cap guns, bubble gum.
Right?
Now,
Yeah,
like, I look at him, I'm like, nah, we're gonna go to the store.
So we got a $5 super
Big
chat.
house.
Thank you, Big House Production. Great stream. Do you get your flu shot, folks?
Kimmy, I don't do flu shots either.
I do
No,
flu
I don't.
shot. I do
I don't
flu
either.
shot. I did flu shot this year. I got my PPD too because I wanted to volunteer in my kid's school because I wanted to know how he was doing in the classroom. But I'm pro immunizations, like definitely. But I feel like with the flu shot and everybody how they feel about it, I guess it just depends on each person.
Yeah.
But I feel like it is. I don't think the flu shot harms anybody. And I guess it depends on your genetic factors. Like Kimmy, you said something about Alzheimer's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We all have genetic factors that contribute to different things. But I feel like the flu shot for me is safe. I get it every year. My kids get it. We're okay. Do we get the flu? Probably a different strain for real.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, I've never
So-
had the flu, so I don't need.
Yeah, don't flu shot. So I get the flu. I don't always get the flu shot. Because I always get sick with some other shit that my kids bring home from school. But
Right.
Yeah, kids are.
my kids
Yeah.
get the flu shot. It's not right every year, and that just happens. My
Right.
kids also got vaccinated, but my kids were both preemies. So now that my kids are a little
Mhm.
older, we're not as worried about it, obviously. But my kids still do get sick on occasion. But I also think that because my kids were preemies, they didn't get exposed to enough when they were little because we were
Right.
so worried about them. So
Yeah.
it's a toss up. But with the flu shot for me is like, okay, you may or may not get the flu and it may be less bad. Immunizations for me are like, well, polio is a thing that sucks. Let's
Right.
avoid that. So for me,
Yeah.
the immunizations are kind of a no-brainer, but the flu shot is person by person. When I was working at the DA's office, I got the flu shot every year. But then again, in LA County, I had friends. I ended up getting treated for tuberculosis because we had a big TB outbreak at my court and I tested positive for exposure.
Oh.
I had people get staph infections, people get MRSA. Like 3 of my friends got MRSA from
Wow,
court.
MRSA?
So it's
cool.
nasty at the courthouse. So Kimmy,
Yeah.
if you do not get sick,
No, listen. I don't work in the courthouse.
No,
we
but
have our
right.
own building,
you have your own
so I
building,
know
so-
I'm not exposed. But at the same time, they offer it to us for free every year.
yes, because
I've had it twice.
yeah.
Right. I get the flu shot because every time we go in for my kids' wellness visit, they say, "Hey, do you guys want a flu shot too?" So we get it too.
Yeah. And look, I've seen a lot of people put some interesting comments in. Janine said the ice cream man in New Orleans is a drug dealer. He comes at 8 and 9 p.m.
But if
at
he
night.
brings drugs and snacks, he's kind of the best.
Right.
Yes.
The munchies.
And look,
the
in New Orleans, we had a guy. I don't know if he's still doing it. Janine could probably protest to this, but where you go downtown, they had a guy rolling up and down the street doing what's called weed pops.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he had chocolate. I mean, he had weed pops and brownie, weed brownies
This is what
and
Kimmy
stuff
was
like
just talking
that.
about. Why they can't
goodness.
do it at the high
Selling it.
school.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They say the kids will bring stuff to school and
Kids
share
will
it with their
bring
friends and get them high.
Kids
Yeah.
would bring stuff that was laced to school, which is just
Yeah.
Wow.
back in the day. It was that my friend Candace's house had all of the chocolate. My
Mhm.
house had all of the sugar-free bullshit. So
Right.
Candace would bring me shit to school. I was never
Right.
really worried about it. It's sad that we live in a day and age where your friends can't even slip you some Twinkies. Like, Come on.
So I mean, it's crazy, but I mean, we all living in some weird times, and I mean, have you ever thought about this? We are in a time where the average phone costs $1,000. You can't slide nobody Twinkies in school. You got trucks rolling up and down the city selling weed pops. I mean, God,
a cell phone at this point.
And you guys know what something else is interesting? This is healthcare totally, but kids don't get chickenpox anymore. No chickenpox.
There's a vaccine for that.
That's it. Yeah, they take a shot for that.
Yeah.
Which they're so lucky because I remember having the chickenpox.
Oh,
when I was 8 years old. Yeah. Completely
but
miserable.
everybody had the chickenpox. Do you guys have parents that would make you go play with people?
Yes, the chickenpox parties. Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that didn't happen to me. I caught it from somebody at school.
Chickenpox.
That's old school vaccination. This kid's sick. Share some popcorn.
Right. I had the chickenpox when Lion King came out. I remember because I was getting better and my family took me to go see Lion King. But
awesome.
That was a miserable time.
Yeah, I missed a trip to an amusement park due to the chickenpox with my Girl Scout.
I missed a field trip because of the chickenpox.
Yeah.
And I sat home all day and watched TV on the phone with my friend Joey, who also had the fucking chickenpox.
Yes. And then you have to grow up and worry about shingles, right?
Yes.
Yeah, which is the bullshit about it. That's the bullshit of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So before we get to, I want one more thing before we get on out of here. And this is my
castor oil. I'm sorry. Big house production. You know what? My dad always talked about castor oil. He said, you know what? You take a little castor oil, you'll be all right. That's what grandma says.
My grandmother used to say it all the time. Castor oil kill everything.
Mm-hmm.
So before we leave out of here, I got one thing that's concerning me about the tech industry. We already did surpass $1,000 phone. We already got the iPhone that is at a $1,500 price point. Or in 2019, are we going to see phones that's going to average $1,400 to $1,500? Because I think that's where we're going to do. I think we lead up into 2020, folks. 2020, folks. I think we're going to see finally we're going to see a $2,000 price point on a phone. What are y'all guys' thoughts about that? Because we start to see this trend go up 25%, 25 to 50% every year, and now we start to see devices at an iPhone at a $1,500 starting price. Even though it's 512 gigs, who cares about that? Who's going to go through all that? But are we going to see that because they're taking away features like headphone jacks and all that stuff like that? What are y'all guys' thoughts about that?
I don't think phones are going to slow down on their incremental price increases, right? That's going to keep happening. But I think at some point you're going to see the population start getting into this TikTok cycle, especially with iPhone, and extending it. Because this phone, this X10, I call it the X, this XS Max is still going to be great on iOS 13. Yeah, right. It's going to be great on iOS 13. So if I'm looking at this phone or a $2,000 phone, I'm going to be going, what does that $2,000 phone do differently? Like if the camera's just a little better, if it's just a little faster, I'm out, because you've got to give me something significantly different from what I'm looking at now. Because this phone is not, the size is what's different from the 10. And that made a big difference to me because of how I use my phone. But you've got to give me something significantly different to get me off of my $1,300 phone onto a $2,000 phone within a year. Like it's got to be a bigger change. And I don't know if we're going to see the changes keep up with the price increases. And what you're going to see is Android users getting all bent out of shape because their phones don't last. So their phone after, 16 months is going to suck. My iPhone will hold for 2 years. My iPhone will hold for a solid 2 years and be fine.
That is perfect scenario. Is that this is why I definitely don't recommend 512 gigabyte phones, especially in Android. And Android, for Christ's sakes. And the reason why is because they're going to suck after a year. And so you're being forced to buy a new phone that's going to start off at the $1,200, $1,300 price point. Now they do have the mid-rangers, and I think those are the ones that's going to probably start getting a little more popular.
Yep.
But with the trend, if man, you get that phone suck, man. You got to play with big boy toys and big boy things. That's the thing. Like, you know, if you're not rocking with a $1,500 phone, you underneath me. And I think that's the trend that we start.
Yes, because I was reading Sean's comment to Big House where he said even mid-range phones will increase their prices. They're already increasing their prices.
Right.
Remember they were like $300 or $400. Now they like $600. Like,
They are. And I think most manufacturers make 3 because most consumers buy the middle one. Like, just studies, all the research shows, even when I release products, most people buy the middle price point one. They don't want the cheap one, but they don't always want to justify the most expensive one. And I do the same thing. When I've got the choice of 3 storage options, I every year pick the middle one because it's fine for me.
Right.
that didn't used to be me. I used to always get the biggest one, but I don't need anything that is huge as they're selling now.
No, and I'm also going to use iCloud. Like, I'm going to use my iCloud storage. I have so much in the cloud. I don't need 4,000 pictures stored on my phone. I don't.
My cloud's full.
Well, I see.
I'm not shocked.
I want to answer this question of Please Don't Bite. He said that Android phones can last a long time if you flash ROMs. Now, here's the thing. Average consumers don't flash. They don't want to XDA developers.
Hey, I stopped flashing ROMs a while ago.
I've been stopped flashing ROMs long time. I don't know when the last time I flashed a ROM. I mean, look, the average consumer is not going to do that. Let's call it how it is. They don't jailbreak iPhones anymore. They don't flash custom ROMs on phones anymore. Those days is over with. On the Android space, if you want to get something more customized, you download a launcher. But as far as plug it up to the computer, going to XDA developers, download APKs, rooting and booting a phone, those days is over with. Who still jailbreak a phone on the iOS? I mean, is it even possible on the Macs? I mean, is it a jailbreak?
I don't hack it. No, I don't think the software is too.
I
don't think they have a break for that.
But for what? What do you need to? To do what? Jailbreak it to do what? Other than void your warranty.
Well, right. And that's
you make it more custom. You can make it look like an Android if you want to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those things were the thing.
Right. So if you want to make your iPhone more of Android with widgets and stuff like that, custom, then you did that. But here's the thing. I think way back in the day with the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 4.
Oh yeah, when the App Store was still locked down, didn't have as much functionality. I see it. I understood 5 phones ago why people were jailbreaking. Because there were things they couldn't get. It's just, I don't see anything you need that you can't get on an iPhone. Like, I understood people jailbreaking to get Google Maps on their phone. I get it. But you've got everything you need on the iPhone now, in my opinion. And when you're talking about Android phones can last, the average we're talking about the average consumer. Please don't bite. And I just, once again, I always go back to like my mom. Like a Android phone just does not work. I see my mother-in-law and father-in-law struggling with Android phones. I think they get a new phone every like 8 months because they can't figure out how to make it run faster again. And I'm like, I don't know, get an iPhone. But you start seeing people who can't keep up with the technology, and flashing ROMs and stuff is just something the average consumer is not going to do.
Yeah. They said most Android have locked bootloaders. And that's the thing. I mean, most of the Android, I mean, look, think about this. Samsung, for Christ's sakes, they got Samsung Knox. So if you ROM the Samsung device, I mean, you're going to trip Samsung Knox. You're not going to be secured. You're going to put, I mean, first of all, do you even, and this is the thing about rooting the phone and putting custom ROMs. I don't even know the developers of these ROMs. I mean, you putting stuff on your phone, codes on your phone.
It's gonna spy on you.
Know, right, and you don't even know the developer. Yeah, you might read their forum, but are you gonna put all your trust into a developer that you really don't know to put a custom ROM on your phone and pay all your bills with your credit card with that custom ROM on that device and run it as a daily driver? And you don't. I
I trust Apple not to steal my credit card information. Like, I give them my money, I throw it at them like they're strippers. Apple's like, we got this, and I'm like, take my money, take it, yes. But I trust my credit card information not to get stolen. I mean, and there's got to be that trust, because your phones get cracked and it's everything, right. Especially when you run an online business. You've got to keep your phone secure, because that is the window into everything. And I've seen a lot of bigger entrepreneurs get locked out of Facebook. If you run a business that is heavily Facebook dependent, getting locked out of Facebook for 2 weeks, try calling someone at Facebook to fix your problem on Facebook. You've got to get onto Facebook to deal with Facebook customer service. So if you get locked out of Facebook, you're kind of screwed.
Yes. Yeah, it sucks. And wow, we way past our time, man. I'm looking at the clock.
Oh, yes, okay. We are. Sorry.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. Listen, it's another episode of Wine Wednesday. Don't forget about next Wine Wednesday. We're going to dress up.
Halloween.
It's
Halloween.
So we're gonna have some Halloween fun. Yes. Also, I'm going to announce the giveaways of the giveaway. It's been 3 weeks now. Everybody that put their name down in that video that I did, if you watch my YouTube channel, I think I got a giveaway coming up. I'm giving away 2 Bluetooth speakers next week. So large giveaway next week. I'm giving away 2 Bluetooth speakers, and
US only. Must be 18.
Yes, US only. Yes, US only. So we're gonna do that.
Must be 18. Sorry, Aiden.
Must be 18. Yep. Oh,
Emily, email me your no, I have your email. Is that your email for iMessage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so, but I'll messenger you.
Okay. Kimmy got that iPhone.
Yeah, and I went back to make it. I can see my wallpaper. Yes.
Yes.
You know, I always have to do. I don't like boxes.
You always got to see it, but you know what? With the folders, you can make it however you want.
No,
almost.
I spread it out.
You did.
I got a question for you guys. Next week,
did you jailbreak it to do that?
No, I didn't jailbreak it.
Right.
It's not a jailbroken phone.
Sorry, question.
Next week, should I be Minnie Mouse or a vampire?
Extreme. But
which one has more fun makeup? Whichever one has the most fun makeup.
Like, probably vampire. I mean, I'm gonna do a makeup look for my Minnie Mouse too, but that's like my more PG. That's what I go out with the kids with. Or
it's Wine Wednesday. Get sassy.
Okay, vampire.
Just don't do white face. People will go crazy.
Oh no. I mean, black people with white face, we can't do it. Yes, okay, vampire. I see it.
Vamp it.
Vampire. Okay, you guys. Definitely.
Vamp it.
Vamp it. All right, so this is another episode of Wine Wednesday. I really do appreciate everybody coming. Paul, we have so much fun. Hey, we talk about everything. Technology, life, everything. I mean, it's everything here. There's nothing off the table. And so I really do appreciate everybody that comes through. And we will have so much fun next week. Make sure you set your clocks. Make sure you set everything for next Wine Wednesday. We're going to have some fun giveaways. We're going to be dressed up like, spooky. We're going to be some dog times. We're going to have some fun and get lit.
Eric's going to be an apple sheep. That's what he's
Yes. I'm going to be an apple sheep.
He's just going to make a shirt that says apple sheep.
Yes. And if y'all didn't see this video, I dropped this video. I did all of this on my phone, by the way. So go check the video out. It was a lot of fun, guys. A lot of fun. Thank y'all very much. See y'all next Wine Wednesday. This is Eric from Easy Computer Solutions and the lovely ladies of Wine Wednesday. The VIP is going to be in the building every week. Catwoman, we miss you. She'll be back next week. She's ill. So she'll be back.
She's going to be stoked to dress up next week.
Right. Yes.
All in.
Thank you. Peace out, people.